Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this using this parrot that I need to make for my son's party. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the outline design. I found that outline designs work the best for this, and you're going to want to clean it so that it's blank on the inside. So the first thing I need to do is I need to duplicate the design. And the first one, I'm going to go down. I don't know if you know how to contour, but I'm going to go down and I'm going to hide all of the contours except for the outline. So that's going to give me my black background. Next, I'm going to go in and I'm going to contour out color by color. So the first one I want to do is red. So I'm going to hide everything except for the piece that I want to be red. I also wanted to cut out the eye and the eyebrow. So anything that you cut out, the black will show through. So I'm going to cut out the eye and the eyebrow. So I'm going to use those contours. And then I'm going to change the color to red. And just to show you, so you'll have the black outline and it will cut out the eyes. So for me, what I usually do then is I go in and I duplicate it again. And now I'm going to contour out for the other colors. So this time I'll do blue. So I'm going to click on the parts that I want to be blue. So the end of this wing, I'm going to eliminate the pieces that were red. So the tail feathers and this little piece right here. The eyes are small, and every time I try to click on them, I end up clicking on the wrong thing. So we're going to eliminate the eye from down here. Change the color to blue. And now I have the pieces that are going to be blue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to contour for all of the individual colors. So I end up having to duplicate it. Let's see, red, blue, green, yellow, brown. That's 5 if I can count correctly. Oh, and white, 6. So I'm going to duplicate it 6 times total and contour it out so that I have only the colors that I want. So I'm not going to show you all of that. I'm just going to jump ahead. So now I have all my different layers. So if you look, technically it says that it can cut out every layer except for this bottom one, because the bottom one is bigger than 11.5 by 23.5, which is the size of a mat. However, while it's the size of the mat, it's not the size of the cardstock. So my cardstock sheets are 9 by 11. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to slice these so that they fit on a 9 by 11 piece of cardstock. So I make a shape. And then I lay it on top of the piece that's bigger than 9 by 11. Whoops. Accidentally changed the size. I'm going to lock it so I don't accidentally change it again. I'm going to select them both and I'm going to slice. So what that's going to do is it's going to take my nice big black background and we're going to slice it into pieces that are going to fit on a 9 by 11 piece of cardstock. So you're going to have to do this a couple times. I also find that sometimes I have to play with it to figure out where the best place to slice is. Let me make another one. So 9. Whoops, you got to unlock it. 9 by 11. No, not 2. 11. There we go. So like this would leave me with kind of a weird shape right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and I'm going to slice the tail off. Sounds funny to say it like that. I try to work with natural seams on the design, but sometimes that can be a little tricky. But I'm going to go ahead and at least slice the tail. So I sliced the head, sliced the tail, get rid of the extra pieces that I don't need. All right, after slicing the tail, I'm going to go ahead and do this one more time. So I'm going to make one more rectangle. 9 by 11. So up at the top, I have to unlock it, make it 9 by 11. And I kind of have to play with it just a little bit to see if I can fit what I need to fit underneath my shape. So sometimes you got to kind of rotate it, adjust it, play with it a little bit. That's not really going to work either. Let's try rotating it this way. There we go. So I'm going to slice one more time, select them both, and then click the slice button down at the bottom. Delete the gray pieces. Delete, delete. So now I have 4 black pieces that will all fit on a 9x11 piece of cardstock, and then my Cricut will go out, will slice them, cut them all out, and then I can reassemble them like a puzzle onto a piece of either foam board or poster board, whatever I'm going to use. So if you look, they'll line up perfectly, and then we're ready to go. So now it says all of my layers are cuttable, but again, it thinks that I'm cutting on a 12 by 24 mat, and I'm not. So what I'm going to do is any of them that are bigger than 9 by 11, I'm going to duplicate and recontour. So right now, my beak and my feet are both yellow, so I had them as one layer, but the distance between them is too far. So I'm going to duplicate it and then contour out the feet in one and contour out the beak in the other. So now instead of it being one piece, it's actually 2 pieces. And then I can put them on the same piece of cardstock when I cut. So I have to do that actually for a bunch of these. So when I contoured it the first time, I was more concerned with the colors. Now I'm a little bit more concerned with the size. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to delete that piece. And then I'm going to click on that branch and then delete the other 2 pieces. So again, now each of those fits on a 9 by 11 piece of cardstock. So I'm going to have to do that a couple times. I did it with the beak and the feet. I did it with the branch. I'll probably have to do it. Yeah, see, this is 15.9, so 16 inches. I'm going to do this again, so I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to separate the tails from the wings. So on this layer, we're going to eliminate the wing and that little tiny piece. And on the other layer, I'll eliminate the tail. And that should leave me with 2 blue pieces that each will fit on a, that each will fit on a 9 by 11 piece of cardstock. So the only hiccup is with this red piece, it's too big. So I'm going to have to do exactly what I did with the black layer and slice it since I can't contour any more out. So here I go. Make myself a square. Up here where it says more. Click on, there we go. I'm going to make that 11 by 9 just because, yep, there we go. Slide that down a little bit, and we're gonna decapitate him here. Just kidding, but we are gonna slice right below his head. So now I have 2 pieces of red that when I glue onto my cardstock will line up perfectly. So let me group these back together. Oh, I accidentally grabbed the branch there. I'm gonna group just these 2 red ones together so that when I'm moving things around on my mat, they move as one piece. So now every individual piece on my mat, I did it again. Every individual piece on my mat will be 9 by 11 or smaller. And then I'll be able to go ahead and cut those out with my Cricut and assemble them on my piece of poster board. I like to just double check, make sure everything lines up. Let me slide that over a little bit. Boom. So then I'm going to send it to the machine to be cut. And then what I'll do is I will take the black pieces and glue them down first on a piece of poster board. And then I'll lay all of the individual layers over the top. And I will glue them all down. And that'll be that.